Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Gateway family and friends. My name is Pastor Mark, and this is the second edition of Some Gateway Good News. That's right, there is another edition out there somewhere, and you have to go check it out if you want to understand what in the world I'm doing right now. What SGGN is about, though, is about sharing some of the good news that's going on around Gateway and the community with all the stuff that's happening. But before I do that, I wanted to be able to talk to you and see if you're willing to bear with me a moment. With Easter and all that's happened there, I hadn't had a chance to be able to send out my thank you emails. And so I thought maybe if you could bear with me, I was going to go ahead and do that right now. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh man, now he's stealing from Jimmy Fallon. He stole from John Krasinski, and now Jimmy Fallon, what's going on? Well, first of all, let me tell you that in 1984, when I was in real estate, I sent out thank you notes every week. Jimmy Fallon was 10 years old back then, so who do you think stealing from who? Second thing is, this isn't thank you notes, this is thank you emails, totally different subject. So I don't think I have a problem with that. But anyway, with that now, and clearing that up, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So Alexa, play some thank you email music for me, please.
For your Pastor Mark, I have the perfect song.
Perfect. Alexa, play soft thank you music.
Fine. You don't have to get testy about it. How about this?
Much better. Okay. Let's see here. First of all, okay. Thank you, COVID-19, for getting people to do in 1 month what the church has been trying to get them to do for 2,000 years. To let go of their worldly possessions and possessions that distract them and make faith and family a priority. Thank you, Painter's Plastic Drop Cloth, for making hugging possible in the middle of a pandemic. A hug from our grandkids was long overdue. Thank you, Face Mask PR Department, for single-handedly changing the narrative of a person in a mask suggesting they want to rob you to a person with a mask saying they care about my health and safety and they want to be my friend. Finally, thank you, Zoom meetings, for teaching us that meetings should last only 40 minutes. If you have to go longer than that, you have 2 meetings. Reschedule or get to the point. Good. Alexa, stop. There you have it. Those are some of my emails to be able to get that out, and I appreciate your working with me in doing that. So now for some good news. As of yesterday, the local hospital had only 4 COVID patients in their dedicated floor, well within their means to take care of them, and an indicator that most people tested positive are able to manage their care at home. That's good news. Instructors at Merced College School of Industry and Manufacturing used the school's 3D printers to begin making customized face masks and shields to the hospital's specifications. Big word, specifications. Merced College delivered the first 25 on 4/10 and is committed to make hundreds more. In similar fashion, Paul Singer, CEO of Centurion Boats and a member of Gateway Church, says a team of Centurion has been building and donating 50 shield masks and 3D printing face mask ear relief straps per day with a goal of donating 1,000. He says it has given them purpose while the business is temporarily shut down. Closer to the Gateway family, our children's ministry distributed 425 Easter bags at their Escape event this past Saturday. One parent who doesn't attend Gateway was so thankful they insisted on giving the team $40 to help pay for the gift bags. Another parent posted on Facebook, "Thank you, Gateway. My kids don't attend here, but you guys greeted me with a warm smile, very kind. My kids loved it, especially my 6-year-old. She was so happy with the pictures of Jesus and the chalk. Thank you." And then she had like 17 different emojis, which I don't even know what they were. But anyway, she was really thankful. The other thing about that is no bunnies were harmed or viruses spread during the event, and that too is good news. Our college group, Inspire, shared that Saturday, September 11, they prepared and delivered food to the D Street shelter to feed 65 adults. According to Rob Mansfield, who coordinates the scheduling through Gateway, this is especially important because of the current restrictions. Several groups who had been preparing food had to discontinue because they were not allowing seniors, who made up a lot of the volunteers, to participate. If you are a part of a group that wants to help, go to our website and sign up. Yesterday is a feature that I want to offer you today. I had a chance to talk to Ariane Tovas. She's our Connections Coordinator, who's been heading up the efforts to keep Gateway families connected and connecting volunteers with opportunities to serve within the Merced community. Here's what my interview was about. Take a look. You know, as Connection Coordinator, your primary responsibility was to kind of connect with the people that come into the church, help them get connected into groups or into serving, and ultimately be part of the church. And that's all gone away. So my first question to you is kind of how have you redefined your role, given that you've taken this big primary opportunity and set it aside? So how have you kind of redefined how it is to help people connect?
Well, as a Connections Coordinator, my primary moment was Sundays when we got to see people coming in. We would connect with them at the information booth and the guest center. And so if there was somebody that we didn't see on a Sunday, we would know that we didn't see them, and we could kind of check in with their friends or their family or give them a call. And now that we don't have Sundays to gather together in person, we're having to figure out how to find our people electronically.
Well, and I know that we gave you, I remember going to you and say, hey, Ariane, here's a list of, I don't know, like 800 people, between members, adults, and attenders, and I know the elders called a bunch of them just on their part of it, but pretty much your responsibility is to say, make sure they're connected. So that we're checking on them and stuff. So what have you got going? How did you structure that to be able to make sure that we're meeting with those people?
If it wasn't for the members stepping up and volunteering and saying, yes, I want to help make sure all of our congregation is connected, we would not have been able to do that. So basically it boiled down. How
many do you have calling? You're like, what?
Right now we have 53 individual callers that are calling a total of 242 people. So the other primary point of contact that we have are small groups, and that's under Pastor Kevin's ministry. And right now in small groups, we have 389 members, regular attenders, and guests that are connected via small groups. So total under the umbrella of Connections, of people that were intentionally being involved in their lives, is 701 people, which I think is just an amazing amount of people from Merced.
So how are you, so you've got those people calling, but I know that part of your role now is shifted into the community too. So tell me what you're doing related to the community.
One of the cool things that Gateway has done is step up to raise their hand to say that they want to be a part of the county and the city's emergency response team. And so Gateway is partnering with community-based organizations to be able to provide volunteers to help with things like making masks for our healthcare providers. And Eric Swenson, who's leading our volunteers to do distribution of food from Love Inc. And then we also have a team of Gateway members who are writing letters. We have some members that, they're old school and they prefer that means of communication. And so we have 10 amazing members that diligently handwrite letters.
So what would you say to the person watching who maybe isn't connected or maybe not serving? I mean, what could they do if they wanted to either get involved, whether it is connection or serving?
I'm so glad you asked. So that's really important to us. We have an information management system that helps us track people's contact information. Mm-hmm. And so if you are not hearing from us, if you're not in a small group, if you haven't been contacted by a letter or a phone call, then we want to get you on our radar. So go to our website, www.gatewaymerced.org. Click on one of the bright red buttons that Pastor Kenny has put on our website and raise your electronic hand to let us know that you are here, and we will reach out to you and make sure that you get connected.
That's cool. Well, you bring up a good point, because I just got an email from Alyssa saying that she had like 200 names or just under 200 names of people where we don't have a phone number or an email. Yeah. So, well, what do we do with them?
Right.
So even to be able to try to figure out who they are and are they connected in a group or something and getting that information. So I agree with you. If you haven't heard from us, then maybe we don't have their information. If you want to hear from us, they need to let us know. So,
yes, please.
Yeah. So. Hope you saw some of the good news that was going on in and around the area and seeing how people are volunteering and getting involved. It was a great story of what God is doing through the people of Gateway. And now for a little of rapid fire good news. Pastor Al wasted no time getting back to work after his foot brace was removed from his foot. He was spotted fishing through the church fountain for coins. This week he collected $1.35. It's a long way to go to meet our monthly budget, but every little bit helps, and that's good news. I stumbled on some toilet paper this week. I was in Staples trying to buy an adapter for my wife's computer. When I came across, I was walking quietly through the aisle. In the corner of my aisle, I noticed some toilet paper, paper towels, and hand sanitizers. I snuck up quietly because I didn't want to draw attention and create some kind of a rush, and I was able to grab them. The fact that I was on my motorcycle did not slow me down, and I was able to put it on there, and I can tell you, I rode home like a guy from Mad Max or from a hunter who had just killed a 16-point buck, and he was going to his family to celebrate. And that night, our family enjoyed some good news. Our food pantry handed out 88 food bags in the months of March to people associated with Gateway. They were also teaming up with Love Inc. to be a distribution center for the community. That's good news. On March 28, I was able to officially officiate a wedding of Nick Villante and Lindsay Wells. It was supposed to be in a winery with 150 people. And then it was supposed to be outside the winery with just immediate family. And then when the sheltering at home continued to get, the way it was, they were asked, do you want to just hold off and set another date? Their answer, nope. I don't surprise them. So they are now Mr. and Mrs. Villante. Kind of a bonus good news, Alyssa had a 100% chance of catching the bouquet. Final thought. I have a unique privilege of watching how God is using people at Gateway in various ways to be able to make a difference. And just the whole shifting of the church to be able to be out in the community and affecting lives and touching people. I've watched how when there's a need like the Deacon Fund that helps people's in need or even having to upgrade some of our equipment to be able to produce or to create the Sunday experience, people responded and provided. Our Deacon Fund went up $10,000 in just a matter of weeks. It was amazing to see. But one of the financial needs that we just really always struggle to talk about is the general fund. Your tithes and your offerings, when given to that fund, are what helps support most of the stories that you heard today. The gift bags of the children's, the production of the Sunday experience, a lot of the staff that are working with people to coordinate the volunteers, to make phone calls, and to be able to serve in the community are all done because of the support that you provide through the tithes and offerings to the general fund. Well, this past month, our general fund was $30,000 below budget. And that's not surprising because of such a radical and quick transition to where we could no longer come on a Sunday. I saw several of you people respond by sending in your checks or moving into online giving, and that's amazing to see, and I thank you for that. But we still need your help. We need you to continue to be able to give through Gateway to all of these needs that are out there. The church is called, and the people of the church that are staff are called to equip the people to do the work. And through your financial support, that is still possible, and we're seeing God do amazing things. I haven't even got into the good news of how on a typical Sunday service, we're seeing 2,000, 2,300, 1,800, different numbers of people who are checking out our Sunday experience and going online. And these are people that have often, as I've heard, have kind of done away with church, and they're coming back. God is doing some amazing things. And so I want to ask you to prayerfully continue to support the work of this church and what God is doing, and send your tithes and offerings to the church so that we can be able to carry out God's mission. Thanks. Well, as a last thought, finally, I know some of you have asked, why don't you stand up so we can see whether the pants that you have matches the coat that you're wearing, since I'm often not wearing a suit. And I understand your interest. Well, first of all, though, I'm a little freaked out by it. I don't know that it's appropriate, but I get it. And so to just not necessarily respond, but give you a chance, I'm inviting you to consider, am I wearing 4 options? Am I wearing the pants that go with this suit? That's A. B, am I wearing jeans? C, am I wearing a swimsuit? Or D, none of the above? And maybe in a future segment, if you keep watching, I'll answer that question. So with that, I want to encourage you to stay sheltered, stay safe, and continuing to be watching for God to show the good news that's all around you and for you to be a part of that good news. And I'll see you again soon.